problem solving. I don't know whether you were there. Today we will talk about time management. I won't take much time to give you some insight about time management. Managing time is really important to every person, wherever where they are working, in which industry, in which occupation, wherever, whatever doing, managing time is really important. Anyway, before studying or discussing about time management, I would like to give you these messages. First, you need to rename as in your registration number so that we can get the participant name list from the Zoom. The next thing is, though you are in muted and switch off your camera, anytime you can switch on your camera, switch off your microphone and interrupt me, ask questions. Before talking about time management directly, I will show you the agenda of today, what we are talking. First, we will talk about what's time. We need to understand what time means. Then we will talk about factors decide how you work. Timing is important with our work. That's why we talk about time management. If you don't know how we work, what kind of personality we have, what type of person we are, then simply we cannot manage our time so that we can get the maximum outcome, whatever we are doing. Therefore, we need to discover, to understand factors decide how we work. Then the time management methods. Then we talk about steps of managing your time. Most importantly, the majority of the bigger chunk of today's session is factor deciding how you work. When you understand factors deciding how you work, then automatically you can manage your time. Okay, let's go deep dive. What's time? Time, if I ask you to define what's time, it's really hard. The reason is time is intangible and it's a absolute concept. We cannot give anything in the environment to describe the time. We can give metaphors. Though we can give metaphors, we can't exactly take this is time. No one can see, no one can touch, taste, or no one can hear. Time is just like a mysterious concept. We can't prove, show it. This is time, scientifically or any other way. But we know that exists, and it affects to every part of our life, and so much important. But no one can touch it, store it, and use it. It is flowing. It is flowing. And the stories we have heard about the time is really, really mysterious. That's why I told you time is just like a mysterious concept. Physicists define time as the progression of events from the past to the present into the future. Time is a progression from past to present to future. Basically, if a system is unchanging, it is timeless. It means time is not affect on that object if something is not changing over time. If there is something change over time, that means it's under time. Time can be considered to be the fourth dimension of reality. That's the fourth dimension of reality. Height, width, and the depth, that's the three dimension. The fourth one is time. Used to describe events in three-dimensional space, it's not something we can see, touch, or taste, but we can measure its passage, right? We can measure how the time is flowing, how the time is going on. We can measure it. How do you perceive time? If I tell you how you perceive time, what's your answer? Some people say time is just like gold. Time is precisive things, something. They can relate to something in the valuable things in the world of work or in our world. But rather, I would like to say time is we perceive as a distance. We experience time as a distance. If I say so, are you agree with me? Are you agree with me? If I say time is just like a distance. Sometimes you may be thinking, can it be happen? Time is just like a distance, right? Give me a second. How do you perceive time, right? Let's say you're watching a long distance. You're watching a long distance. You are standing on the road, the straight road, a long distance you can see from your one side. Or far away, if there is something in the far away, you can see it's less descriptive. It's a real small thing. When it gets closer, the descriptives of that object is more prominent, more easily you can read and see. Just like that, just imagine, this is you are in the present moment. When you think back about your past, a very recently things happened to you about 2 or 3 days ago, 1 week, 1 month, even sometimes 1 year. You can very easily, vividly recall that memories. But when you go back to your past, you can see it is just like you are watching something in a distance. It is getting far away and getting small, getting less descriptive, getting no, sometimes when you think about your really young, early ages, sometimes in when you were in the nursery, those situations, those memories might be less descriptive and maybe sometimes black and white color, less brightness, images or the video size is small. But when you memorize a thing that happened recently, you can see in a colorful life size images and videos. Same like that. When you look at the future, when you imagine tomorrow, next week, 1 month, very easily, vividly, you can recall that memory. But when you recalling, when you think in future about 1 year, 2 year, 3 year, 5 years, or 10 years ahead, then it's really difficult you to imagine. And sometimes though you imagine the images not descriptive, small and not color one, black and white, less brighter photos you may come across. With that experience, with that knowledge, we can say that we subjectively experience time as distance. I'll give you more examples so that you can understand very easily why I'm telling that time we perceive as a distance. When you describe something happened very recently, you may show your hand, you may use a gesture like this. Very recently happened. You show your hands to very closer. But if you are talking about what happened to around 10 or 15 years far away, then you may straight your hands too far away. It happened a long time ago. Very recently happened a long time ago. Same like that when you are talking about the future. Tomorrow we can do. Tomorrow, today, tomorrow, and day after tomorrow, we can do that. We have 5 years, right? Now you can understand that when we are talking, we use time, and from the body gestures and postures, we can understand that we perceive time as a distance. These are the benefits of time management. That's why we are talking about time management. Otherwise, no point. Increasing productivity. You can improve your productivity, the day productivity. The much you input, but the output will be greater than what you put as input. Then reduces stress. When you manage your time in a proper manner, you can reduce your stress. You may feel that, and sometimes you may have experience from your own, or sometimes you may have experience. Some of your friends have experienced. When they have a lot of time to complete assignment or the presentation or the experiments, they are spending time very freely. But when the activity get closer, they feel stress. Why? Within a very limited period of time, they have to perform several jobs, which causes high stress. When you're managing your time, you can reduce the stress and have a peaceful, calm life. Then improves self-esteem. You can improve your self-esteem, that you can do something. When you miss something, you're losing your self-esteem. Why? When you're losing some performance due to bad time management, it proves that you are not good at something, but really you're good at. But overall message that others are giving and you are perceiving is you are not good at what you are doing right now. That intention decay your self-esteem. Decaying self-esteem is not a simple thing. That's a big, really can cause us really issues to your life. Helps achieve balance in life. You know, there are different areas in our life: social life, professional life, office life, then educational life. Likewise, we have different areas. When we are spending most of our time in the job or something else, then other part of our life will collapse. Then we are losing our life balance. When you're losing our balance of life, then again we will be in the stress. Then increase self-confidence and helps you reach your goals. Though we have set a lot of goals to our life, you may have experience even when you at the very beginning when you entered the university, you may had a lot of goals, and you may have heard a lot of people have got a lot of life goals, but they can't achieve success or reach their goals. The reason is they might be complaining, I don't have time, I don't have resources. But if you can manage your time, you can reach your goal, whatever you set in your life. Now let's we look at factors decide how you work, right? Factors decide how you work. Sometimes before talking about that, we'll talk about a little bit about the time. Sometimes you may have watched time machine movies. That's why I told you time is just like a mysterious concept. In movies showing that people can travel through time. They can go to the past, they can go to the future, just like traveling on a vehicle, right? When just think, if you can to travel to a time machine, what it would be like, right? What it would be like. But still scientists and researchers are talking about that concept, and they are searching whether people can go through time. And even sometimes you may have heard moving clock is time is going slower than the stationary clock. Moving clock means if there is a clock in a moving spacecraft, space aircraft, the time is going slower than a clock in the earth. That's why sometimes you may have heard, even in the science fiction, Some people travel from one planet to another. When they are coming back to the Earth, the people who lived in the Earth are older than they are, since their time is going really slow. That's why Einstein also said timing is just like a relative concept. Now let's look at factors decide how you work. You want to understand yourself, what kind of person you are, how you are, what kind of thinking pattern you are having, how are you working, how do you work. Then you can understand your strength and your weaknesses so that you can plan your career. If possible, those who can switch on your camera. I would like to do an activity with you all. Who can switch on your camera? No one. Who can switch on your camera? When you switch on your camera, we can do an activity. No one. No one is ready to do the activity. If it is so, I will continue and not doing the activity. I'm just only explaining. I'm just talking, sharing my insight. That's it. Okay. If I ask you this question, if I ask you to show your past, how do you show me? From your hand, where do you show me? In which direction? Then some people show me like this. My past is here and my future is here. Past behind there and future in front. This kind of time we call in time. When I ask, what's your time? How, in which direction can you show me your future and your past? Some people said, past is on my left hand side and future is on my right hand side. Now you can see two different timing. Some kind of people show past is behind their body and present in front. Some people show the present is on left hand side, future on right hand side. These two peoples are totally different people. These two people behave and their thinking pattern is totally different. The first one is in time. Let's discuss one by one. In time people goes through your body. Why? If we imagine, it is just like a timeline. The past is here, the future is here. If we draw a line, the line is going through your body. And you are associated in the now. That person is associated in the present. And in time, people are not aware of time passing. They don't know about time passing. They don't know how the time is going on, right? And if I ask a person, in time person, what's the time now, they can't say exactly time. It's that maybe around 10 or 11. They can't give an exact time. Then they tend to have associated memories and tend not to plan. Now you know that those are the people need time planning, time management. They tend not to plan. Just think about in which category you are. You avoid deadlines or are not good at keeping them. E is done back to front, not all in front. E is done back to front. Most of the Asian people has got in time personality. Not all in front. They can see only the future. If they want to see the past, they want to put some effort to look at the back. Since of the Asian, especially when it comes to the Sri Lankan, since they are really lethargic and lazy, they don't like to see the past. That's why throughout our whole history, the cheaters could cheat us continuously, especially politicians. Though they have done a lot of cheats on us, again and again, we are calling them and giving them the power. Through time, they have past and future in front of their passes outside their body. They are dissociated from the now, and they are aware of time passing. They know if I ask a through time person what's the time now, they will tell it's 10:36. 10:36. They can exactly tell the time, and also they are plan ahead. Whatever they do, they plan ahead. Through time people, you are aware of deadline or at good at keeping them. They always keep deadline and complete accordingly. Most of the Western and European people have got these true time people. Now you know the reason why we are not working in time, on time. The reason is we have got in timeline. We don't know time is going. That's why when we got together and we are having chatting, we don't know time is going. And also we don't like to see we're reluctant to see the past. Therefore, we always focus on the future. Therefore, anyone can cheat us. What they have done in the past, that there may be a lot of things they have done wrong thing to us, but we don't consider. The through time people, they work on time, they schedule, and in orderly way, they work orderly manner. Just think in which time you have it. If it is in time, then type I. If you are a true time person, then type T. Let's see. Only two responses. That means only two are with me. Rest are not here. If you are an in-time person, then definitely you need to plan your time. You need to manage your time. Through time, people don't need time management. Inherently, innately, they have that habit and they can do that. Only two responses. Now just look at this picture and tell me what you feel. This is about the people, two people. Just tell me. Just tell me what you can give or what you have the insight about this picture. Here you can see one person is work in orderly manner, but other one is just work, right? Now you learn. Now you learn how uh, you work based on your time. Now we'll see how you work based on your personality. Structure, personality, structure. In dealing with outside world, prefer to get things decided, stay open to new information and options. Based on your character, the structure. Some people get things decided. Before doing what they are doing, they want to decide A to Z what they are doing. And some people are there, they just what they want to, they don't decide in prayer and stay open to new information and options. Based on this personality, we divide people into two, judging and perceiving. Right? How do you navigate your time? Based on that, we divide judging and perceiving people. Judging people, that kind, when you are having this kind of personality, if you have, plan details in advance. They plan everything in advance. Even when they are going a picnic or the vacation, they plan everything starting to the end. At what time they are leaving, at what time they are arriving, what are the things they are bringing, how they are going to enjoy, when they are going to stay, where, at what time, what kind of meals they are going to have. Likewise, these kind of people plan everything in advance and focus task at hand and complete meaningful segment before moving on. They have this much of thing that complete. They segregate this big chunk into small chunk and complete one by one. Works to avoid stress and stays ahead of deadlines. Judging people can't bear the stress. Therefore, to avoid stress, they complete meaningful chunk and they meet the deadline and complete it. And uses target dates and goals to manage life. These people set goals and dates to achieve their goals and manage accordingly. Now you can understand that these kind of judging people are similar to through time people, which we talked earlier. These kind of people, highly orderly working people, perceiving. If you have a perceived personality, this kind of person you may have. Move into action without a plan. Okay, let's go a trip. They get into the bus or they get into the vehicle and just go. They never plan. Multitask and mixes with work with pleasure. They can do several things at the same time, but judging people only do one thing at one time. Perceiving people can do several things, but none of them is completing, but one is going to start and stop and again something, and even at the same time while they are doing different things, they are really good at multitasking. Tolerance of deadlines and does best work under pressure. They can work under pressure, perceiving people, and also they're not much concerned about the deadline. They will complete what they want is on their time schedule. Avoid commitment that interferes with flexibility, freedom, and variety. Perceiving people are highly valued flexibility. They don't like to stick to a fixed schedule, and they really valued freedom and variety. These kind of people. Let's we talk about little bit about perceivers and judges so that you can understand, digest the personality type. Judges and perceivers. Judges like to plan and act first. Perceivers like to explore and respond. Okay, let's we go on a trip. When we say this, judges plan everything. Perceivers, nothing doing. At the last, they will be joining us. Judges, I made a schedule for every day of my vacation. They are really fascinated, but if we have prepared a schedule for perceivers, they will cramp. There is a schedule for every day of my vacation. They can't bear it. And see, like this, judging and perceiving. Judging people chunk their big achievement into small part and complete, and it's go like this. But perceiving people, they will stay for the last moment. They can bear the stress, and anyhow they will complete. Keywords associate with each references. Judging people are just like closure, decision, schedule, organized, plan, control, now. But perceivers people, openness, options, spontaneous, disorganized, experience, flexible, later. Now just tell me in which category you are. Are you a judging person or perceiving person? If you are a judging person, then type J. If you are a perceiving person, then type B. Let's see. Excellent. Thank you very much. If you are a judging person, you don't need time management. That means you can leave this webinar, but don't do that. Why? If you can, still you can learn something and you can teach somebody regarding this time management techniques. Those who are in the perceiving, you need to learn time management. But keep in mind, you may be through time, you may be perceiver, whoever. That is your personality. That is you are. We can't change people where they are. If we did that, if you do that, then people lose their identity. No one like to lose their identity. Therefore, while you are acting as a perceiver, while you are being through time, a little bit, adjust yourself to manage your work. That's what you want to do. Not highly schedule everything like judges and through time people, what they do. Don't do that. If you do that, what happen is you will losing your identity. This is your nature. This is your nature. But if it seems like that, it can be a disadvantage for your career, for your life, then you can learn a little bit of time management to your life. Time management methods. I'll give you two metrics. Time management matrix. Sometimes you may have seen this. You can draw a matrix like this. Here you can write urgent and not urgent, this important and not important. Every day, before start your usual day-to-day activities, if you can do this time management matrix very fruitfully and productively, you can manage your time. You can use your time. You can manage your time means you can't change anything in the time. Let's say, for example, human management, human resource management, you can manage people. If you want, you can remove it or you can recruit it. But time, you can't do that. Time is the same. You need to change the way you work. That's it. At the very beginning of the day, if you can fill up this matrix, you can understand there may be something really important and really urgent. You can write them down here. There may be something important but not urgent right now. You can write them here. There may be something urgent but not important to you. Then you can write them down here. And there may be something not urgent or not important. You can write them down here. Then what you want to do is, anyhow you want to complete urgent and important factors that you need to complete today. Right? Not urgent but important. You can plan it. You can plan it to happen. It's just like this. If it is really urgent and important, do it now. You can postpone or procrastinate. If it is not urgent but important, you can plan to do it. You can make a schedule. You can make a time plan to do it. Urgent but not important. It's urgent but not important. You can reject it. Let's say, for example, travel requests from others, apparent emergencies, interruptions, and distractions. There may be some things, some your friends or family may request you to do something, but that is not important to you and they urge you to take it. If it is not important to you, you can reject it. Scrutinize and probe demands helps organizers to reassess wherever possible, reject and avoid these tasks. Resist, not important, not urgent, not urgent. Then these are the comfort activities, computer games and net surfing. Those kind of not urgent, not important. You can resist. Chat, gossip, going on Facebook or the social media, text, social communications, daydreaming, doodling over long breaks, unnecessary adjusting equipments, habitual comforts, not true tasks, non-productive, demotivational, minimize or cease altogether, plan to avoid them. I hope now you can clearly understood about how to use this matrix, time management matrix. The next method I'm giving you is ABC method. Every morning or before you go to the bed, you can do it ABC method. This is how you are doing it. You ask from your from the partner or from the person who is mm, uh, engaged with you, and ask yourself this ABC method. How you can do is you can list all the things you have to do tomorrow if you are doing it today, and you can do it in the morning. Better to do in advance in the evening before you go to the bed. List out all the things that you need to do tomorrow, one by one. There is no any priorities on that list. Then, after writing down all the things that you need to do tomorrow, then from a side, name them as if they important to you. Let's say, for example, you have to submit an assignment tomorrow. That's really urgent and really important. You can name it as A. And there may be something you need to meet somebody. It's really important that you can name as A. The things that you want to do tomorrow, and it's really important, you can name them or grade them as A. If you don't do that, those tasks, then you are in a really good trouble, really trouble. You can name them or grade them as A. Then there are some important work, but not urgent. You can grade them as B. Not urgent or not important, then you can name them as C. Then you have some list of A's and B's and C's. It's just like this in this side. Then what you want to do is you want to complete anyhow A's. Anyhow A's. Then you can do, if you have time, B's. If you have more time, then you can consider C. Then you won't get any issues or problems since you have completed all the tasks that you need to complete tomorrow or today. This is called ABC method. The next day when you're writing, this B will be A category. Therefore, you don't need to worry about the B category. B category, anyhow, someday it will become A. Then you can do it. Then step of managing your time. These are the steps. Set goals. Set reasonable expectations. And remember that no one's perfect. Make a schedule. And revisit and revise your plan. These are the steps. We will briefly discuss about each steps. Revisit your values. You may remember, if you join yesterday webinar, what does value means? Sometimes there may be some students who not joined yesterday. For the benefit of them, I will explain a little bit about values. Values. If I ask you what are your values, you can identify your values, ask in these questions. What's important to me? What's important to me? Right? If it is there something or really, really important to you, that's your value. That's your value. Now you can understand my point. You have a lot of things to complete today. But the very first, what you will be doing is the most important thing. That's value. When you set goals, you need to understand, are they really value to you? If it is only, you do. If it is not, you won't do it. Knowing what is most valuable to you gives direction to your life. If it is really valuable to your life, study, then students may be studying. It is really important thing in your life is watching movie, they continuously watching movie or playing games. Your energy should be oriented first toward things that reflect the values that are most important. Examine your values to help you make the time management decisions. Where to start? Set goals. What's important to you? You need to set your goals. Make your goals specific, concrete, and don't be vague. Some people might be set their goals, but not specific. Let's say, for example, I want to get a good result. I want to get good result. Good means no one can understand what kind of good. Sometimes getting a C may be a good. Sometimes B, B plus, A plus. We don't know. That's not specifically mentioned. If you want to reach a goal, specifically you have to name it. I want to have A grade or A plus for this subject. Set both long-term goals and short-term goals once to support them, right? You need to set long-term and short-term goals. When you set long-term and short-term goals, you know what you want to do at very first. When you don't do that, you don't know what you want to do exactly. You may be doing something totally different according to your requirement. Set a deadline for your every goal. Every goal should have deadlines. At this date, at this time, I'll be completing. Then integrate your goals, school, personal, and career. Always your goal should be compatible goals with your career, personal life, professional life. Otherwise, you are setting a goal in a total different direction and your personal life and family life in a different direction. Then those are, when they are not matching each other, then none of them you can achieve. Realize that goals change, but know which goal to stick to. Goals can be changed. We know in the world everything is changing. When everything is changing, we can't have unchanged goals. Time to time, we have to change. With the COVID-19, a lot of companies, a lot of people have to revise their goals. From goals to then set priorities, you can do this using ABC method. Now you identified your goals and then set priorities. What's important and what is not? What order do things need to be done? ABC order. Once you know what you prioritize are, you need to plan out a schedule for a semester, the week and day. Acknowledge the realities of university schedule. First, you want to know and accept. Planning may seem hard at first, but the more you do it, the easier and more natural it gets. Make a schedule. Set up your semester calendar. Block all important set time obligations. Block all classes and lab times. Look at the syllabus for the class schedule. Note the weight of the activities and highlight of exams and project due dates. Work backwards from exams and papers, study time, and time for your sanity. These are the schedule that you need to look after. Then you need to organize your time. Set realistic goals. There are only 24 hours a day. If you set goals that you can't do a small chunk within 24 hours, then your goals may be unrealistic. You spare time. When you have free time, you can review your time management. Study at the same time each day, make it a habit. Divide study time into manageable chunks. Leave extra time at the end. Calendars. Different perspectives. You can do a to-do list. Even there are many time management tools available on the on our mobile phones. There are more apps have developed. You can use them, and you can plan your year plan. This is the thing that I am going to do in the year, and then break down to months, to 12 months. Within these 12 months, within this year, I have to complete this. And you take a month. In this month, I have to complete this meaningful small chunks. Then each month you have to divide according to the weekly calendar. Then within this week, I will complete this. This is how you need to plan, you need to manage your timing. With that, we came to the end of our discussion. If you have any question, I would like to answer them. There is a one question. All the time my goals are unrealistic. What you want to do is you need to learn how to set goals. I'll give you uh, few insight so that you can understand. Always set goals that you can achieve. Sometimes you may have heard the SMART goal. Your goal should be specific. Specifically, you want to mention, I want to complete this on that day, on up to that amount. Let's say, for example, in 2025, I want to get a white color